Well folks, I'm just doing a little vlog now about all these atrocities that are ongoing with the statues across the world that people from the Black Lives Matter movement want to take them down because it's white people whose families were involved in slavery and stuff. Well, to educate people, the first slave owner in America was not only a black man, he went to court and demanded it in 1654, right? So the first slave owner in America was a black guy. Also, they won't tell you Black Lives Matter is that black African tribes were kidnapping other black African tribes and selling them on as slaves. Also, what about the white Irish slaves that were treated worse off than any other race in the US? When was the last time you heard an Irishman bitching how the world owes them a living? You never do. We crack on with it and get on with it. 2. At the peak of slavery in 1860, only 1.4% of Americans owned slaves. What history books doesn't tell you is that 3,000 blacks owned a total of 20,000 slaves in the same year. Reality check as well for you here, folks. This is your reality check notice. During 1300 to 1700, hundreds of thousands of white slaves were kept in Africa. Africans sold Africans into slavery. Only 1.6% of Americans owned slaves. 3,003 blacks owned black slaves in 1860. Slavery ended in 1860s in the US. No one is responsible for what other people do or did or maybe might have done something. So stop using it as an excuse to be an arsehole. The other one, yeah, in the 1800s, no one alive today was a slave. All races get discriminated against. Blacks sold their own into slavery anyway. But all you seem to forget about that. Everyone seems to forget about that. Also, 9 facts about slavery, what I've done here, that they don't want you to know. The first, and I'm reading this from my phone because I've wrote them all on my phone, it's reading it to me. The first legal slave owner in America, in American history, was a black tobacco farmer named Anthony Johnson. North Carolina, the largest slave holder in 1860, was a black plantation owner named William R. Ellison. American Indians owned thousands of black slaves. Also, the other one, in 1830, there were 3,775 free black people who owned 12,740 black slaves. Many black slaves were allowed to hold jobs, own businesses and own real estate. Brutal black-on-black slavery was common in Africa for thousands of years, and that's still ongoing to this day, folks, in Africa. Most slaves brought to America from Africa were purchased from black slave owners. Slavery was common for thousands of years. White people, I'll say it again, white people ended the legal chattel of slavery. So it was white people who ended the slavery, folks, right? Also, what about all the Jews who were massacred during the genocide of the Holocaust? You don't hear them going, oh, the world owes us, oh, this statue shouldn't be up, that statue shouldn't be up. It's part of our history to remind us that that should never happen again. Not wipe off the face of the earth the history, right? What about all the Irish people, Irish travellers, Irish gypsies who get discriminated? Since humanity ever started, right? Since the human race ever started, what about all the disabled people who get discriminated, like myself, and get hated on day in, day out? So, how about we stand up and start, eh? I say to all disabled people, let's stand up, let's do a disabled movement. Instead of Black Lives Matter, how about all lives matter? All disabled people, all lives, all race, all religions, all sexualities matter. So stop hating and trying to take down our statues. Like Sir Robert Peel's statue, you got to take that down. Well, if it weren't for Sir Robert Peel, you wouldn't have Manchester University. You wouldn't have Salford University. Without him and his family who paid for them to begin in the 1800s. I bet you didn't know that one, did you? So, anyway, share the love. Leave your comments below. And I'm willing to do more history lessons like this for you folks, because at the end of the day, this is the facts that Black Lives Matter does not tell you folks. Well, I will tell you the truth. Right? What about the Vietnam War, of the atrocities in the Vietnam War? You don't hear them saying that this person owes us that person owes us that. What about the slavery ongoing in Korea? Still to this day. And the oppressions and the atrocities. What about the mass genocide from ISIS who's wiped most of the history off the earth as well, as the Nazis did? Right? What about that? You don't hear white people chirping up about that. Could we crack on and get on with it? That's in the past. We don't live in the past. We live in today. So, and day, folks, share the love. Stop hating. Stop trying to destroy history. It's called history for a reason, because it's in the past. We live in the future, not in the past. We live day by day. So let's make a change and stand as one, united together in one united country for peace and love. Share the love from the Blind Explorer 2226, folks. Go and follow me on Instagram and YouTube. And these little things I've just read out to you, I will stitch in on on this video at the end. So watch it all the way to the video end, folks, and you'll see it. Over 60% of you are not subscribed to my channel. So click on that subscribe button down below and click on that bell to notify you when I upload. So go and share the love, folks. Peace and love from the Blind Explorer 2226. Peace and love.
I did it my way. This is how we do it, folks. In the theatre of dreams, I did it my way. Go and follow me on Instagram and YouTube, folks, at Blind Explorer 2226. Go and share the love, peace and love, folks. One love, one heart, one nation. Peace out.